Well, we invited Senator Thune in to see Axtell Park today and give him an idea of what type of programs we have here at Axtell Park. Let him learn a little bit about the diversity in our school and just kind of let him see how many different programs and unique things Axtell Park has going on.
They work with their kid and they usually go like K through 12. So they'll move from building to building as the kid progresses.
Okay.
And it's incredible
Yeah,
for our
obviously.
at-risk
Yeah.
kids. They
And do these guys, do people, do they volunteer for that? I mean, is that really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's a great way to
it is
serve your community.
Oh, it is.
Hi, I'm John.
Alana Mancata.
Alana, how do you do?
Nice to meet you.
You too?
Yeah.
We wanted
Try
to,
meeting Apple.
we wanted to catch
That's
a
all
little
right.
bit of your class, but we missed them.
You missed them. You just missed them.
That's a bummer.
Well, come
so
back
is this
next class
English
if you like.
language?
This is science,
Okay.
and I teach science to our immersion students.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Mhm.
great.
Yep, they've been in this country less than 2 years.
Yeah.
So we're trying to teach them English while grade level content standards.
The whole goal, though, for middle school, you know, depending on when they come, but, you know, if they come to us in 6th grade as new, our goal is to get them in general ed by the time they're in high school. So, you know, all those doors are open for them so they can take general, you know, classes or regular ed. So they can take, you know, classes that will provide them an opportunity to have a 4-year university experience. Not that all will do that, but to give them that opportunity. This is our
the
beautiful
library.
library.
Yeah, it is
It's truly the heart of the building.
Yeah.
You can see the
I love
just-
the,
Yeah,
decorations and all
just
that, too.
have an incredible librarian. We have a clerical that assists her, and you know, we have a lot of technology that kids can access, along with books and a full database that they can access, and it is very well used.
Senator Thune is here visiting the school today.
Well, it's nice to meet you all.
You guys take quick pictures in the side.
Thank you for letting us stop by, guys. What are you studying right now?
Are we studying?
The war.
Which war?
What's that? Okay, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Back there in I had studied all that stuff many, many years ago too. Well, it's just a great opportunity for me to see what's happening here in terms of educating our young people in Sioux Falls. And Axtell Park is a school where you get a good appreciation for the face of Sioux Falls. A very diverse student population. Some challenges, obviously, but also some great opportunities. And what you're most impressed by is just the dedication of the people who are here teaching. It's wonderful teachers who are passionate about what they're doing and really want to have an impact and serve a purpose with their lives. And so you get a chance to experience that and feel that when you walk into some of these classrooms. And just for me too, to better understanding of you know, when we're representing the state of South Dakota, particularly with regard to education issues, being able to put a face on that and personalize it is really important.
So they spend probably 1/3 of their time in there with the headphones and working on the software, and then they also have some books, and it's all geared to their level of literacy, so it's extremely personalized. Very, very, very powerful. And we have 52% minority, 48% white. This right here, this is another sub, but this is a reading class, and it's designed for kids that are basically they're general ed or they're sheltered, so they're not in that special immersion group, but they are below grade level, and so this is a support for them.
Okay.
And again, very powerful program. Really helps the kids. And again, our goal is to get them on grade level by the time they're a high school kid, by the time they're a freshman.
Well, we're inviting people in from the community to kind of give them a feel to see what's going on in our schools. I think a lot of people don't step in a school building and don't have an opportunity to actually see what's going on. And I think if we bring people into the buildings, they will see all the great things that are going on and feel better about public education.
Hi, I'm John. Barb, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for your good work.
Thank you.
So you have vocal, do you have instrumental too, or is it?
I have just vocal,
just
yeah.
vocal.
But then 6th grade general music and like a rock on music history class, and then I teach immersion music, which is to all students who are new to the country.
Wow.
So,
And how do you go about doing that? I mean, what would be an example of an immersion for a student that's you want to learn music and kind of learn American style music?
Sure. We do a lot on language acquisition.
Okay.
So through the words, through the lyrics of the song.
Yeah.
We do a lot on teaching them vocabulary.
Okay.
So a lot of it's, we start with pictures, then we add words. So it's a lot of teaching them English as much as it is teaching them English style
And
music.
what style music? I mean, what genre?
We kind of
Does
do
it
all
mix it up?
genres.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of do everything because we try to do what's appropriate. Sometimes we do seasonal
Yeah.
things. Sometimes we do, things that just hit vocabulary we want them to know.
Right.
So we review as many words as we can every day.
Interesting.
This is a Spanish classroom, and this is for high school credit. So these kids are taking a high school class.
So I also teach ELL, and that has also helped me in that experience because I have 2 boys right now that speak no English at all, only Spanish. And so for me, I'm able to make that connection with them and then help them out. And it's just amazing their first day of school when they come to me finally, and I'm like, hola.
Yeah.
They look at me, they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can think clearly. So it's really, I'm very lucky.
Now, before we go in here, I just wanted to tell you a little bit. This is a SPED program. This is a pull-out program. So these students are not with the general ed population. They're considerably lower, like cognitively delayed is the official term. And we are one of 2 cluster sites. So every student who is cognitively delayed who qualifies for that based on their IEP would come to either our building or Patrick Henry.
Okay.
As far as the immersion center, we are the only building that houses the immersion program, and then we are one of 2 that house the sheltered program. So these 2 classrooms, like we have 2 behavior rooms, and kids can go, we can just peek in here if you want. Our behavior rooms are for kids that struggle to get along in the classroom, and so they can take 1 period, sometimes a period plus a study hall. And this is typically one of their favorite classes. They can come in here and learn how to express themselves when they're angry. Most of it's literacy based, so they read books about kids that have explosive tempers, and then they get to talk through that. This is Heidi Freeze, and then Susan Hartman right here. She is our behavior facilitator, so she's like an assistant in the classroom. 1 in 4 of our students qualify for an IEP. They're on an IEP, so we have quite a few kids on an IEP, and some students, go through their day and they just get some extra support, and then some students have some special classes, and then some are in Sarah's pull-out classroom.
Okay.
All right, Josh, what's the name? R radius. We take radius times radius. Nice job. Nantanil, what is the radius of that circle? 6. All right, so how are we going to find the area of that circle? Beverly?
On it, 6.
What I'm reminded of, I guess, is that how sort of compared to when I was a kid, how different things are, and just the challenges of language barriers and those sorts of things, which some of us take for granted. When you grow up in a small town in South Dakota, it's a different experience and a different background, and what this gives you an appreciation for is how that has changed, and the challenges, as I said, that presents, particularly with regard to language and immersion classes where you're trying to get students sort of up to speed and ready to go to that next level. But certainly something that again, you come away just impressed by how committed and how dedicated the people who work here are toward helping those students make that next step in life.
Students have several choices, and again, a lot of our students are on free and reduced, but you would never know it. They enter their account code, whether they're a free lunch or whether they're a paid lunch.
Now, you guys, this whole these new rules on school lunches, are you getting blowback on that?
Our kids are great. We just haven't had any issues, but you can see there's a lot of fruit and vegetable offerings, and they do have to take, they have to take 1. They can take 2, but they don't have to eat it.
Well, Axtell Park, like I said, is very unique, and this is my first year at Axtell Park, and I've only been here about 2 months, but in my time that I've been here, I've just been so impressed with everything that goes on here with the different programming. We have a cluster program. We have the immersion program, which is part of our school here for English language learners. We have a sheltered program that bridges the gap between their English learning to where they get competent in it. There's a structured teach program here. We have regular ed program. We have special education. And we have a lot of diversity in our building. So there's a lot of things that go on with that diversity too.
Well, I always think that when they make those statements, they kind of generalize, and I think that there are obviously some areas of the country where there are some real struggles, and I think that we all aspire to a goal to have really high standards for our students, to have the kind of accountability that we want from our schools, but at the same time recognize when schools are doing a really good job, and particularly doing a good job under difficult circumstances. And that's one of the things that too often federal policy doesn't take into consideration. And that's why I've been a big advocate as Washington comes up with education policy, that they allow the type of flexibility that's necessary for school districts to achieve the goals, but in the way that works for them. And sometimes that is different. It's different in this school than it might be in a school in a more rural setting of South Dakota, and certainly different than in a school perhaps in inner city in a big populated center of the country. But it's important that Washington recognize that students learn at different rates, and that we need to make sure that we're giving them the opportunity to learn at the fastest rate possible, and that they have the tools available to them. But so much of that comes down to the dedication of these teachers, these people who are in the classroom, and that's one of the things I guess that really impresses me about what I saw today, and in many cases what I see as I travel across South Dakota.
Well, I just think the most important thing is that he should take from this is that he sees the kids that we're teaching, and all these kids are future citizens of Sioux Falls or some part of the United States. And our goal is to educate them in a way that they are going to be positive citizens in our community. And I guess I wanted Senator Thune to see the different diversity that we have and just all the programs that we have, so that a politician has an understanding of what it takes to make something like that run and make something like that work. And I would just like to encourage anybody that happens to maybe see this on Kalen or whatever, that is a business leader or a community member or a grandparent or just somebody that's in the community that's interested in knowing what's going on in our schools. Feel free to call any school in our public school district here in Sioux Falls, and we'd be more than happy to give you guys an opportunity to see what is going on and to see the great things that are going on in the schools here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
You know, it really